as promised, I said I was going to do a Q&A. A Q&A with my twin, Drea. Everybody say hi, Drea. We're gonna try to keep this short and quick, but effective. We're gonna try to do it really fast because she has a flight to catch. So with that being said, we're gonna be answering questions. So let's just get right into it. Y'all asked so many questions on my Instagram story. It was very hard to like narrow which questions that we were gonna answer, but we're just gonna choose questions and then go from there.
Yeah. What's the answer to that question, Lala?
I didn't see it. I'm not answering that question first. The first question that we are going to answer is somebody asked, have y'all ever pretended to be one another? Funny story. We were in middle school, either 7th or 8th grade.
8th grade.
We agreed to like switch a period.
No, it was like third. It was like in the middle of the day.
It was like middle of the day.
It was like right after lunch or something like that.
Yeah, so we were just like randomly, like didn't plan it at all whatsoever. Like we didn't even wear the same thing. Like terrible planning. But we changed periods for a whole period, and it was like maybe 5 minutes left in our class period. Someone said to me when I was in your class, they were like, oh, that's not Drea. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? And then I don't know what transpired after that, but long story short, we got in trouble for skipping class, being that we weren't in our right class, and they said that we were skipping our class, so we had in-school suspension. In-school suspension for 1 day. So yes, we have switched places before, just once. Who is the comedian and who is the serious one?
I think you're the more serious one. But
What?
people see my face and they think that
I would say that I am the comedian, like, for sure. I'm the comedian. I don't know. I think we're both funny, and I think that she is more serious because she gives off that vibe like she don't play. So that's the answer for that one. Who was born first and by how many minutes or seconds? She was born first. She was born 10 minutes before me, and she's obviously the oldest. So yeah.
What are your pet peeves? For me, gotta make it make sense. Like, make it make sense. I don't care what it is, just make it make sense. Another one of those small pet peeves of mine is being ashy. Like, you can't be ashy like here on your hands, or like right here and over here, like in these creases, and then the knuckles, like male or female, because that's the first thing I'm gonna be like, huh?
Facts.
Huh?
I'll say a pet peeve of mine, like a general pet peeve, would be somebody who's like a one-upper, like someone who's always like talking about themselves, or like feeling like they have to one-up someone.
I just don't like when people don't treat others how they want to be treated.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good
Because
one.
I'm gonna treat you how I want to be treated always.
Yeah. How was it like growing up as twins? Are y'all alike or opposites?
Can I have my space back? Can I just have my space?
Literally.
Please? Share the same room. Our 15th birthday, I'd say we moved into our house, and that's when we had our own room. But for the most part, we had the same room for 15 years, and
Literally shared everything down to a freaking cell phone. Like,
Yeah.
we would
Oh my
argue
gosh.
about being on the phone. We had to share a cell phone, y'all. When I was like super young, I feel like I was a tomboy. People used to think that I was a little boy. That's how bad of a tomboy that I was. We are alike in very like tiny ways, but for the most part, we are two different human beings. Like, very different human beings. Growing up as twins, I feel like we really didn't have our own identity. We were always addressed like together. Like, now that we're older, we have our own identities. People associate us like as individuals and not necessarily as twins. Does that make sense?
do y'all want kids someday? If so, how many?
Yes, I do want kids. 3 kids. I'll say 3 healthy children. What about you?
I don't care how many kids that I have. as soon as the first one comes, and then we'll just see how everything goes. As long as I can afford them and I can take care of them.
Yeah.
I don't really care how many kids I have.
People have plans to be like, oh, I want to have 5 kids, but after the first kid, we gotta just cross that bridge when we get there, because like, a lot of things can change.
Let's see how that first one goes.
Somebody said, how old are we? 31 years old, born June 14th. Who hoops the best? Don't do that.
Sorry, it had to be me.
Anytime anybody asks me that, I never like pick.
We play different positions and growing up, and you know, she's better at some things, and I'm better at other things. Like but what? Obviously, when we're on the same team, like we come together.
Like what?
Like I would say you're better at ball handling. Okay, so what? But I still can dribble the ball.
What about shooting? Who's better at shooting?
You're good at shooting. No, but she's good at her things. I'm good at my things. She was more of the natural player, that it came more natural, and I was more like, I had to put in the extra work. I had to put in like really, really, really hard work. But it's like, I don't know, it just came more natural to you than it did for me. So yeah. I literally had to put the work in. And you put work in too, but I had to put work in stuff that came natural to you. So like it came natural to you, and I had to put like extra work in. Like
okay, yeah, for sure. Because how it even all started, like playing basketball, I had no desire, you know, that when I saw basketball, I was like, oh, I want to play basketball. Never. One day, there were tryouts, and, you know, she was going to try out for the basketball team in middle school. And I was just there, like, supporting her, like, watching her and stuff. And then I'm watching the tryouts, and I'm like, hey, maybe I could do this. And then the next day, I tried out on the second day. I didn't try out the first day. I missed those. So I tried out on the second day. We were just like trying something new. And then like I don't know if it was the first game or like whatever game, scoring maybe like a couple baskets. And then from then on, I was like starting. And then it was just, basketball was our life from that moment on.
I give props to my dad too.
On you, yes. My dad, he was very, like, influential when it came to our basketball career. He always pushed us to the point of, like, tears and crying and just working us very hard. Even though he didn't have a basketball background, he had a coaching background, so he helped us develop into the players that we became to be, just, like, mentally. The skills part of it, we always put in the extra work. After games, before games, like he always made it his priority to help us be the best, making sure that we're giving like 110%.
Who is the better cook?
Definitely say her.
You just made macaroni and cheese. I don't really think I ever made macaroni and cheese.
And the greens.
Okay. Alright.
Were they good?
The greens were good, yeah. I'm more of like the seasoning person, but if you give me some instructions to something, I'm pretty sure that I could like probably make it. She
is the better cook, even though like she doesn't really make like soul food.
I don't really like soul food.
Yeah, she doesn't really make soul food, but everything else I feel like she can either come up with her own meals, like it's fire and tastes good and it's healthy.
Yeah, I'm a really good smoothie maker and a really good juice maker.
She makes natural juices, Juice by Dreas, cleanse, detox, all that fire. I'm pretty sure y'all seen it on my Instagram. Do you miss the military? Why did sis never join? Funny story about that. When we were in high school, she was actually in the JROTC, and I remember her coming home one day, and I was like, I think she was shining her shoes, or she was like ironing her pants or something, and I was like, why you gotta do that? Honestly, like not knowing like what came with like the military or like what standards that they have. And then I sit there and I joined the army, and she didn't even finish like pursuing that like journey. Why?
I got tired of every Friday or whatever we had to dress up, and it would be all day, and then I would always have to like run to practice and like get out of those clothes, and it was just, I don't know, it just wasn't mentally ready for that in my mind. It's just not something I wanted to keep doing.
I personally, I do miss being in the military, and I do miss being a soldier. There were just some things that I enjoy doing. Like, I love, you know, going on like ruck marches. I love jumping out of airplanes. I love like just being in the military, being in a uniform, like serving my country. Like, I don't know, it was just like a family outside of family. I feel like any place that I was stationed at, like, I found people who weren't just like friends or like coworkers. They're like family. Like, there's people to this day who I consider like family because like we've deployed together. There's just a bond that it's very hard to explain unless you've been there. 2 more questions and then this will be it. Like I told y'all, like she has a flight to catch, and so we have been meaning to record this video forever, so we're gonna give y'all 2 more questions.
Who's more organized? There's levels to that. It probably comes in different parts of like more organized when it comes to certain this, or more organized when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard.
You know?
Last question is, what's a favorite core memory y'all share? You share yours and I'll share mine.
When we got our belly buttons pierced, and we weren't supposed to. Like, we weren't supposed to get our belly buttons pierced.
We were
young. We were 13.
In 8th grade.
13 or 14.
8th grade, right?
Like, she wanted to get it done first. She was gonna get it done regardless if I didn't get it done. But I'm like, I guess I'll get it done. You know, it might be cute or whatever. But then, like, we didn't even, like, think in our head what the consequences of it would be. And it was like, we really just got this foreign object, you know what I'm saying, into our flesh. And it's like,
in middle school.
She's the reason why we got caught. You know, we wouldn't have got caught if it was, you know, just me. What you wearing a sweatshirt for all summer, and it's hot as hell in Florida.
I think a core memory I have of us was our senior year, and we had just transferred to Clearwater High, and it was like Father's Day, and we were in this like tournament. We were in this basketball tournament at USF. That game, me and my sister, like, we went off. We went off and we made our dad like so proud. Like, he was so happy and ecstatic that like we played so well. I mean, like, I swear to you, like, I didn't miss a shot. She like literally made every single shot, and it was just a really good game. And just to see like his twin daughters like play very well together on our like brand new like team that we were like, this is our first time playing with these girls, and so like it just was setting the tone for like what was to come for our senior year for basketball. So that's one of the core memories that I will never forget. And I know like we just made our dad like really proud that day, and like till this day, like he will not stop talking about it. And actually, I'm gonna like take the camera right now and like ask him about it, and y'all gonna see his reaction. So let's go do that. Okay, Dad. So the question is, do you remember when we had just got to Clearwater High and we played in like USF on Father's Day weekend?
Yes.
What, like, is that a core memory for you?
100%. I think about that almost every Father's Day. You know, just reminiscing on, you know, just the cool basketball experiences, and just y'all were like draining threes and we just wilding out, balling, and was like, yeah. Yep. That was a great moment.
Yep. Told y'all. They were like, what's one of our core memories? And I mentioned that was one of mine. I'm like, it's something that I'll never forget. And that we were just saying how grateful that we were.
Oh yeah, that was
grateful that we were for you always like being there, like supporting us and always pushing us to like be better, like making us cry, because we just wanted to put the extra work in and make sure that we were always like the best.
100%.
1000%.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of told y'all when we first got started with basketball, if we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this. You know, saying, if we're gonna do it, then we're going all in. And you know, hey, again, at the beginning, I didn't know anything about basketball.
Exactly.
All I knew was that, hey, you know what? We're gonna work hard. We're gonna hustle. We're gonna give 100% all the time. We're not gonna quit.
Yeah. That pretty much concludes our twin Q&A. Thank y'all for everyone who asked questions. And if we didn't get to your question, maybe next time. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next vlog.
Tomorrow.